most people, other than me, think that there's a God. Whatever that God may be. Most people, gotta say.
Well,
most
that is
Americans
true.
think there's a God.
I do. I think
Yeah,
there's
right.
some sort of God.
Sure.
Maybe it's wishful thinking, but I like to
That's
think.
fine. If you think there's a God, does that mean you believe in the afterlife? 'Cause I'm going to tell you right now, there's no fucking afterlife.
Well,
You go into the ground or you get burnt, and that's fucking it.
you may very well be right. And, you know, that's certainly a... not only is it plausible, it's probably...
I see no
More
evidence
correct.
otherwise. No evidence otherwise.
Well, I just have a hard time. I look at things like... I look at this and I say, why... Okay. How many species of mammals are on the planet?
A lot. I mean, I'll look that up.
You know, so why is it that there are no mammals, no other group of mammals, whether they're in the ocean, that uses tools or lives in some sort of a house? You know, why is there such a big gap between us and
Top of the food chain, baby.
yeah,
Natural selection.
but you know,
Opposable
why
thumbs.
this? I'm talking about I'm not talking about lions being over, on top of gazelles as far as the gap. Neither the lions, they sleep outside. So do the gazelles. Neither one of them uses any tools.
By the way, there's a roughly 5,000 species of mammals.
So where did this huge gap between human beings and the rest of the mammalian? Is it mammalian?
Yeah, close enough.
Mammalian
Can I
population.
Can I offer you an answer?
Sure.
The answer is because we're all made in God's image, Joe. That's why.
Well, I don't.
We're
but you
all
don't
made in
believe
God's
God.
image.
You
That's
don't
why.
believe in a God.
Don't you know that we're all made in God's image?
I think Al
That's
is
why.
being a fucking asshole right about now,
Not being an asshole.
and I'm gonna have to kick him in the balls.
It's a long fucking kick, dude.
It is.
Plus, good luck doing that under this beautiful table that you made for our podcast.
I'd never kick Al in the balls, but
It's because they're so hard to find.
I don't know.
Kick
I
me
can't.
right in my cunt.
I can't explain it. And then there's the wheelchair physicist.
Stephen Hawking,
Yes,
who I guess is a fucking coxman.
Stephen Hawking
He's a player.
is one of those guys that he's in a wheelchair. People feel bad for him.
Should have died a long time ago.
And
Not that I want him to be dead.
And he is not in the top 20. If you asked a physicist, who are the top 20 physicists, his name does not come up.
Well, he wrote a book at a very timely time. It was like a right place at the right time, that brief history of
Yes.
time. That
And-
was it's because of that book.
And people bow at him and think that he's just idiots. Idiots who don't, I shouldn't say that. It's so elitist.
Well, you're just saying that it's that's the whole fan mentality.
Yes.
Right. And without bothering to look further into the topic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He is not.
Right.
He's not the leading thinker in
Listen, he's interesting.
quantum mechanics or in.
He's an interesting guy. He's interesting to look at.
No, he's
culture-
horrible to look
He's
at.
interesting to look at.
I
He
want
wrote
to throw up when he's drooling on
That's
himself
fine.
and he's fucking.
It's so
he's
out of the
gross.
ordinary. He's just
You ever see his teeth? Talk about British
vile.
teeth.
Vile.
What the fuck is going on there?
So, wait a minute.
I just
So you don't like him? Well, what's
Well,
the
I
point? Well, there was some specific point about Stephen Hawking.
I don't. It's not that I don't like him. It's that there's an illusion as to, this is like he's introduced as the greatest physicist of all time, and he never says, over that box that God talks like this. He never says, please don't call me the greatest physicist. I am not. I'm just amongst a group of very talented people.
That's fine. So what is he supposed to do? Say don't. I'm telling you, if he didn't look that way,
right,
he wouldn't be as popular as he is.
It's political correctness has made.
You know
Stephen
what? God damn, you're right.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
So we even lie. We lie to ourselves about. Well, who's the best? You know, he must be the best physicist.
By the way,
because he's a cripple,
right.
and he's in a wheelchair and he drools on his balls. So he must be the best physicist.
And I'm telling you, it's a prime example of how shallow women are. And we talked about this before. He could be the ugliest fucking wheelchair-bound motherfucker in the world, but he's got a shred of popularity, and he might get you into the next party or the next fucking shoe fucking sale, and he's got some coin.
Now,
Stephen Hawking gets pussy.
Are you saying that he's not doing a lot of banging?
No, but somehow he gets trim.
Do you think people they're blowing him?
I mean, they're doing something. The guy cheats on. He's a serial cheater. He cheats, and then he's on to the next.
Well, but
model.
How is he cheating?
That's what I want to know. I mean,
who's letting him out of the house?
Maybe someone's playing with his junk. They got to at least. I mean, you got to figure.
Does he have any control over his bowels?
You got to think not.
So there's a good chance.
He's got ALS, right? He's got some slow developing thing with the ALS. Because guys don't have ALS for 50 years.
No. I
mean, you unfortunately have experience with ALS.
I watched a guy die of that.
And it didn't fucking take decades. It took
5 years.
Took 5 years, right.
That's 5 years is the average.
And how old was the cat when he died? In his 30s, right?
No,
I'm just saying, roughly, ballpark. He was in his 30s.
He wasn't 40.
Right, there you go.
He was in his 30s.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you whether he was 37 or 35.
I think that's when most of those guys, most deaths are men in their 30s from that.
Well, so Stephen Hawking is no, I'm not going to say he's not a bright guy, and he's written some interesting things about black holes and stuff. He's
also really afraid that if aliens come, we're fucked.
Well, I believe that the premise is that why would they give a shit if they come? No one's going to waste the time to come here and meet with us. That if they're 100,000 years advanced, the only reason they're going to come here is because
they're looking for natural resources,
and they're just
going to water or something.
They're going to fucking just burn us all and just take what they want, or maybe they're so involved that they're here right now mining shit and we don't even know it, taking it from the core of the earth.
Right. I highly doubt it.
Well,
pretty sure if they were here, they would again. That's why there isn't any or haven't been here yet, because they would make themselves known. Because they'd be here for a reason. They're not here to study humanity. They're not silently, quietly fucking draining the core of the earth of fucking magma or whatever.
I mean,
they're not here.
I guess, and that gets to the premise. Do you think human beings are inherently good? Or if we had to if we could do anything we'd want, we'd just fucking be a heathenous bunch of fucking scumbags.
Well, I mean, the reason why there's a Bible and the reason why there's law enforcement is because by nature, man, and this gets back to the other thing, we're not that fucking far from animals. We are fucking animals. And they made the Bible and law enforcement to keep people the fuck under control.
You don't see any animals driving around. None. No animal.
You also don't see
drives a car.
Fucking killing their own.
Sure you do.
I mean, a little bit, but not much.
They eat their own young.
Who?
I don't know.
That's fine. That's different. People would eat their own young. Believe me, people would eat their own young if they weren't in the fucking maternity ward. Half of those bitches would be eating them babies. Trust me.
Well, it was a big fad for a while to cook up the placenta and eat that.
I've done that.
Do you remember that?
I didn't cook it, though. I ate it raw.
That's fucking gross. Jesus Christ.
It didn't taste that bad,
What is wrong
Joe.
with you? Yeah, but why? What is the point?
I don't know. I forget.
Was it one of your kids?
No, it was some random fucking placenta. I walked into the hospital and said...
Did you find a placenta on the road and you said, you were shit-faced, and you said, I think I'll eat this?
So, listen. The aliens aren't fucking here, okay? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're so certain, though. How can you be certain?
Again, show me. It's the same thing with God.
I
Show
understand.
me.
I understand. You have to
There's
see
the
it.
and plus, we live in a fucking time where if fucking Trump farts, it's on fucking TMZ or something. Or never mind Trump, anybody. You know what I mean? Fucking Brad Pitt got a fucking hangnail. Stupid shit is on the fucking in a minute. So if there were aliens here, you would see it because everyone's got a fucking camera phone.
Why would you see it? How about if they're invisible?
Okay, that's you got me. They're invisible. The aliens are
just
here.
saying.
The aliens are here, and they're invisible, just like God. God is the invisible man in the sky.
Let's pretend for a second.
He's invisible.
Let's pretend for a second, and I'll ignore your condescending attitude. It's really
It's not condescending,
hurting my feelings,
and your feelings
badly.
aren't hurt.
Well, you got that one right, actually. But let's pretend for a second that the aliens or God or whatever are 100,000 years advanced from us. 100,000 years.
Okay.
But they're a carbon-based life form of some sort. Because there seems to be a lot of carbon in the universe, a lot of hydrogen.
Seems to be one of those things that makes shit go.
Right. A lot of hydrogen going on out there. A lot of carbon. A lot of shit like that. So, you think in 100,000 years, if we haven't blown each other up, we'd have the ability to
travel to another galaxy?
And to be completely
at the speed of
invisible?
sound? Oh. Just like all of our spaceships would
Everything.
be invisible too.
You could just be invisible.
And then like what, just maneuver freely?
Yeah.
And no one would notice that you're using any, resources or whatever.
Well, you could
You're just hanging out in the sky and being invisible. You're not doing anything else. What are you doing?
Well,
are you abducting people?
You could.
I mean, what are we doing?
Well,
are we stopping time and then fucking with people and then ramping time back up again?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Could be.
Okay. To answer your question, if in 100,000 years do I think we'll be able to do that? I don't have a fucking clue. I just don't.
Well, look at what we've done in 10,000 years.
Wow, look what we've done in 20 years or 25 years.
Yeah. So in 100,000 years, I would believe that we'd be able to pretty easily. There might be some time travel going on.
Yeah, that's true. So in 100,000 years, are we going to go to a planet and find other life and just hang out and be invisible? That's what you're asking me?
Yeah, maybe fuck with them a little bit.
I doubt it. I'm probably going to be fucking with them. We're probably going to be looking for somewhere to live or, shit to take. Gold. Probably gold. I bet you gold is still going to be, the number one conductor and all that shit.
Why would you care about gold if you're 100,000 years
Because
advanced?
it's an electrical conductor. And that helps.
Do you think they're going to need an electrical conductor?
Well, what do you think runs the invisible machine, Joe?
Well,
it's
I believe that
gold makes shit invisible.
One of Tesla's things was that he thought that you could transmit power like you transmit radio waves. I'm guessing they might have that figured out.
I mean,
their technology would be so advanced that,
you could teleport energy, not just people.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
So
it doesn't convince me that there's fucking aliens here.
I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm throwing out the hypothesis.
The possibility
that, we wouldn't necessarily know.
It's possible I'm winning Powerball tonight, too.
Well, I don't think it's that's far of a stretch. Because you're talking about a civilization that is 100,000 years advanced from us would have crazy technology.
That's assuming that all intelligent life develops at the same rate as well. Isn't that a kind of a stretch, too?
What do you mean?
Is 100,000 years of development on fucking gamma fucking 28 the same as 100,000 years of development here for mankind on Earth? I mean, maybe they developed. Maybe in how we're going to be in 100,000 years, they were in 3,000 years or less.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Why does
do you think there's any other life other than us?
as an intelligent person, I believe that there's a strong possibility of that. I don't think we're alone in the universe. How's that? But the universe is such a vast fucking place, and it was such an anomaly. The Earth was in the right place at the right time. Ask anyone who studies this shit. It's so rare, at the very least, that wherever else exists, it's so fucking far away that we're never, ever, ever going to come across it. That's what I believe. I believe the universe is that big of a place that it does exist, but we're never, ever going to find each other, ever. Because the universe is infinite. You know? And I don't know what the spray is of fucking how, you know, I don't have a guess. I'm a house painter. But
You don't have a guess of what?
I don't have a guess. I don't even have a guess as to what the rate of other planets where there is intelligent life, okay? But to answer your question,
a guess.
I believe that
guess
there is.
Of what though?
If there's fucking 80 million billion fucking other planets with life, or 3.
Yeah, there's like
you know what I mean? There's not that many.
Something like a billion trillion.
All right, that's fine with life.
No, billion trillion planets or something.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I'm sure there's life somewhere out there.
You know, like
and we haven't found it yet.
With
and you know why we haven't found it and it hasn't found us? Because the universe is fucking massive.
Well, it must be fairly big, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I mean, what we can see is 13.8 billion years. So basically because you know, when you see time and distance are interlinked.
Right.
Of course, because you measure shit in light years.
Yeah, in light, yeah.
So we can see back 13.8 billion light years back.
Okay, right.
So the light that's hitting us is at least 13.8 billion light years old.
The farthest point.
The farthest thing.
Right.
However, if we were able to see the edge of the universe, if there is such a thing, then because we can apparently we can see 13.8 billion years in all directions, which would mean that we're in the center of the universe, the exact center.
No, we're in the center of what we can see.
We're in the center of what we can see.
Yeah.
Because so we haven't hit the edge. We haven't seen the edge of the universe, if there is such a thing.
Right.
But it's fascinating to think of. I mean,
it'll make you crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean,
you sit there and contemplate it, and you can't. You can't sort through it. I mean, nobody can.
I mean, just think about. I mean, going someplace. The closest planet to us is Alpha Centauri. Is that the deal?
You know, I don't know if that still is. I used to read all this.
I mean,
stuff
other than the planets in our solar system,
obviously,
the next closest.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know.
And that's 4 light years away.
It seems like every day they're finding another planet. I don't know if there's one closer than that one.
I don't think they found a new one, but let's just say, for the sake of argument, and we can be corrected, that it is. So there's 4 light years, meaning we would have to travel the same distance that light travels in a period of time of 4 years. And light travels at 186,000 meters per second, I believe.
Alpha Centauri is the closest star.
Okay.
And it's 3 of them. It's a 3-star system.
Do they have planets?
I'm looking. Sorry to interrupt, buddy.
I'm not up on my...
Did I fuck with your flow?
No, not at all. No, I stand corrected that it's a star, not a planet.
Yeah.
But that makes sense. It's our closest star.
Well, it does have
It's got some
at least 2 planets and some theoretical ones. So by definition, those are going to be the closest planets. So you were right, yeah.
Well, I was wrong, but right in a roundabout way.
Yeah.
But no, I just find it fascinating. You think about that much. It's just the the figures are almost incomprehensible. Pretty much they are incomprehensible to the human mind.
Yeah.
You can't think like a billion years ahead, you know. How can you even...
And you also can't figure the puzzle out
till next week.
You can't figure out the puzzle of infinity when it comes, you know, in regards to the universe. You can't figure that puzzle out because even you were saying, well, the edge of the universe. Well, by definition, well, certainly because we can't see it. Again, the edge of the universe may not exist because we can't see it. You know what I'm saying?
Here's one of the things I enjoy, and it's certainly not proof of a God. But I love all of the people that say there is no God. Say, like, I believe that the majority of the scientific community believes that there is no God.
Is that right? Are you sure about that? Is that like, what are you saying? That's a scientific community, like planking the platform kind of thing?
I believe that this...
Like, if you're gonna be part of the group, you got to believe there's no God?
I believe so.
So not a lot of them are going to church. Nobody goes to church, but you know what I'm saying.
I believe that most people that are in the scientific community, because you're talking about very
That's a
smart
lot of people, though.
highly educated folks.
Yeah, because they're smart. That's why they don't think there's a God.
They don't believe in God.
Right, because they're smart. They're smart.
So what I get great enjoyment out of is every time, you know, we had it all figured out. And when I say we, when Isaac Newton came along and he figured it all out, figured how everything worked, and then all of a sudden they stumbled upon quantum mechanics, which just means things smaller than an atom, and everything in the subatomic area behaves nothing like it should.
Right, it works differently. Right.
Yes. So every time...
And the smaller they get, the more fucked up it behaves.
Shits in two places at the same time.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's just crazy. Hey, grab me that fireball over there.
Sure.
Please. In case you guys don't know, we drink while we're doing this.
And it ain't one of them hard candy atomic
The only reason we do this
either,
podcast is it's an excuse to drink.
All right, more.
Yeah, more.
No, actually, it's an excuse to drink less.
Yeah, it does give us something to do other than drinking.
Yeah,
we can't drink continuously. We have to talk a little bit.
And I'm not publishing the first shows because they didn't sound good, but there was some fucking severe drunken hijinks going on.
You don't want to be slurring.
Like, I don't remember talking about... The funny thing is those two first that I published, almost everything on those two shows we covered in the other three drunk shows and forgot.
Yes, we forgot. Well, it's like the global warming. I don't remember what I did yesterday. Never mind what I talked about 2 weeks ago or a week ago. But yes, I find great enjoyment. The very cocky, confident physicist who is certain of something, and it's just his whole world is blown up when they actually, in practice, run the particle at CERN, and it does exactly the opposite of what he hypothesized, and that all the other people that believed him that the thing would do.
So, but you're saying because of that, just the fact that they believe in God is, or don't say there's no God is...
I just think it's
dispelled.
One of those things where until they get it all figured out, they can't really say.
Well, you're saying that they can't make an opinion on anything then. Although it's not an opinion, usually they try to go by scientific fact.
Well,
but you gotta have a question about something before you go out and prove it or disprove it, right?
You have to be able to, without, beyond a shadow of a doubt, explain why the universe exists, how it became, and why it became. Why is it? And until we do that, then you got to go with there was some force that did it. Whether you want to call that a god or an intelligent being, but until it's disproven,
because there's no other easily provable reason, we have to go with another unproven reason. I don't understand what you're saying. To me, that doesn't have a fucking thing to do with if there's God or not.
Well,
Just because there is.
you're not a very deep thinker, so I mean, I
Admittedly,
I realized that you would have trouble with this, but yes. Let's put it this way: if we could explain everything, then you would have to rule out God. If everything had a scientific explanation.
Then you got to define God. So you're saying God is fucking shorthand for anything that's unexplainable.
Well, and it's not. There is a great deal of belief that God created the heaven and the earth, the universe as we know it. Us, that's why we're different. That's the belief.
I mean, you believe in evolution, though, right? You don't believe in Adam and Eve.
Yeah, I think they can coexist pretty much easily together.
Do you think there was an Adam and Eve? That was just a story that somebody made up, right?
I don't know. I don't know. Now, do I think that Adam and Eve was the beginning of all people? Probably not. It's a little,
okay, good.
It's a little ludicrous. But what's funny is, these people that start laughing, these fucking morons think that the earth is 6,000 years old. What a bunch of fucking idiots. If there was a God, how hard do you think it would be? If there was a God that created the heaven and the earth, right? How hard do you think it would be?
To make it look like it's been here billions of years.
Yeah.
To make it
Do you think it would be really tough?
No.
It wouldn't be very tough at all.
That being said, you don't think the earth is 6,000 years old, do you?
No.
Okay, good.
No, I don't. Well, I don't know. Depends on where
That's
you fall.
like saying I don't know if the fucking world is flat or round. I mean, it's the same thing. The world's not flat, Joe. The world's a couple billion years old. It's not 6,000 years old.
Well, you're certain of that,
Yeah, because of the science thing.
right?
As certain as I am that man has changed the fucking climate irrevocably. But by the way, I don't think it's that bad of a thing. It's also natural.
I love climate change.
Man is part of Earth. And if there never was an Earth, there never would have been man. But man is on Earth. And it's part of its evolution. And there's no, well, it should have been this way. No. We're here. We're part of it. We're part of the Earth.
I like
You know what I mean? There's no shoulda or coulda or woulda.
You know what I like? I like the idea of an afterlife because it makes the idea of dying not so fucking scary and horrible.
If you believe in afterlife, I mean, is
You
there
follow what
one
I'm saying?
is there only one version of that, or is there a heaven and a hell?
Oh, I don't know.
I choose not to think there's an afterlife because I hope there ain't a hell.
Well-
because I'm fucking going.
I hope no.
I'm not a nice person.
I don't think so. I don't think you're going to hell.
Do you think there's a heaven and a hell?
I don't
Or one
know.
afterlife that everyone goes
I don't
to?
know.
Oh.
I'm
I'm saying
gonna-
you're comfortable. It makes you comfortable to think there is.
Yeah.
Makes me uncomfortable to think there is.
Because you're not just going to be eaten by the fucking worms or burnt up and that's it.
I'm going to tell you again, Joe. I told you about 45 minutes ago.
Uh,
You die, and that's it. There's blackness.
well, that could
That you
very
don't know
well
about.
be the case.
It shuts off. You're a hard drive. You're a fucking
And-
hard drive.
And quite frankly,
There's no soul.
the rational side of me says that that's much more likely. You know what I mean? But then there's the dreaming side.
You know what,
of
though?
me
If you find
that
com-
says,
right, if you find-
know what, it'd be really nice
If you find comfort in it, that's fine with me. I
if
think
you
that's
could go
good.
up and have some pomegranate juice with Jesus.
I mean, the whole Jesus thing.
And
First of all,
there's a
he didn't
lot
look
of
like
interesting things about Jesus. Like, why is it? Did we talk about this drunk?
No, we've never done the Jesus thing, Joe.
Why is it? Why is Jesus the most famous man that's ever lived? Why?
Because
why?
if it was him and not a couple different dudes like I believe. But, all right, so we'll call the group of them Jesus. These people figured out a way to control the masses and make the masses believe in something. And because of that belief, whatever it is, basically in the afterlife, because that's all Christianity's really about. It's about the afterlife. That's all
So,
it is. You
how
got to
did this-
do good works.
Whatever
be
you
a
believe
good person.
Jesus to be, how did this guy, for 2,000 years, why are we using the Christian calendar? How did we?
I think
How did this become?
Well,
the most,
that has to do with the Roman Empire and the fact that the Roman Empire itself got taken over by Christianity. Originally, it was whatever, pagan, whatever you want to call it.
Well, the Romans killed Jesus.
That's fine, but eventually the Roman Empire, which admittedly was the most important part of human development, maybe we can agree on that as far as government and culture and all that shit. That's kind of the linchpin of how all this shit started, all right?
Yes.
Okay. The people who were in charge of Rome, the emperor or whoever, at whatever point, became Christian, okay? And
Did they?
yes, and that's why
I have
Christianity.
horrible.
That's-
horrible.
That's why Christianity is what it is
I'm a
because
math
of the
major
Roman
with
Empire.
a whole fucking boatload of C's and some D's
That's fine.
and F's.
This is
But-
not up my alley. Now,
But I have no history. I'm horrible at history
as a
and
heathen
remembering anything.
fucking agnostic, I've
'Cause
also read the
I believe
Bible
I'm-
several times.
You know how you got billions and billions of brain cells,
Well, speak for yourself.
and it takes a long time to kill enough brain cells so it starts getting into where you're thinking and shit.
Yeah.
Well, I believe I've had enough to drink over the years where it's substantially into eating away at my memory and
Right.
everything else.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, having said that, were the Romans Christian?
They became, yes, the Roman Empire, Christianity became the official religion of the Roman Empire at one point.
When?
Well, I mean, before it ended. Not long before it ended either, apparently.
Well, was it 400 AD?
When it
500?
officially became? Just
Yeah.
sometime before it ended, all right?
So the Roman Empire existed for what, 500 years? Is that about right?
That was way longer than that.
Did they go a few years before, a few hundred years before, and then to 500?
The Roman Empire existed into like the fucking they were around for a long time.
500 AD, I believe, was the end of the Roman Empire.
Yeah, I believe that's about right.
And then we had the Dark Ages,
Yeah.
where everybody went back to like eating their own shit for like 1,000 years.
Right. I mean,
It
well,
was-
again,
it was
everybody got
crazy when
sick.
you think about it.
Everybody got sick.
No, there was the Dark Ages.
Well, it's because there started to be cities and shit like that.
The
and
Roman Empire
disease was spread
ended.
easily. And
No. There was nothing. Human beings were living like fucking animals. Which, of course we are. We are animals, but
yeah, in more ways than one.
fucking raping everybody. And
Oh, yeah,
just,
yeah. Yeah, but it wasn't. It
Fucking
wasn't
the
cave.
dogs.
It wasn't cavemen.
No
There was-
animal was safe.
There were cities. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I mean, the Roman Empire set up cities. The
I
Roman
believe-
Empire was very good, Joe. Officially a state from 27 BC to 476 AD. But what became the Roman
Hey,
Empire?
that's about 500 years.
Yeah, but what became the Roman Empire was in existence for a while
Look
before.
up Roman Empire Christianity. See what's going on.
Follow
there.
what I'm saying, though. What became the Roman? It wasn't like, oh, now we're the Roman Empire. It took a while, but Roman culture isn't. The Roman Empire was part of Roman culture. There was Roman culture before there was the Roman Empire.
Do you think were they all in Rome, or did they live outside in the suburbs?
No. I mean, if you could be from Spain and be a Roman soul, you know what I mean? The Roman What do you mean? You don't have to be from Italy to be a fucking Roman.
Oh, I understand. Well, here's the
Because
good.
it was a fucking, it was all over the place.
The Roman Empire was they had it figured out. They'd go and conquer a nation and say, hey, you guys want to join up? after they conquered a place, and the ones that joined up and fought for the Romans.
Right.
And the ones that didn't, I think they ate them, fucked them and ate them, or
Right.
killed them and fucked them and ate them. Probably in all different orders.
Right.
Harvey Weinstein would do well.
As a Roman?
Yeah. Or as a Roman that was conquered.
Right.
He'd be begging. You know what he'd be well as one of those. Do well as one of those. Like,
You heard of that guy Constantine? Ever heard of Constantine?
I saw the movie with Keanu
Not
Reeves.
that fucking Constantine. The fucking Roman emperor. Constantinople was named after him. You must have heard of the fucking... That's the guy who was...
Was he a Caesar?
Well, he was an emperor.
Well,
so that makes him a
they
Caesar.
were all Caesars, right?
I think they called him Caesar.
So it was. I've never heard of
anyway,
Caesar Constantine.
he was about 312 AD, and he was the first Christian emperor.
Really?
Yeah.
So was it the guy in the movie? Did Keanu Reeves play that?
And you see his fucking toga? The thing was styling. Couple of fucking boys underneath.
I don't know.
Some serious fucking mouth fucking going on.
I don't know. It's very interesting. And I know it's much easier to believe that none of it's all bullshit. But I guess I find comfort in the fact, no, not the fact, in
Talking
the
to
idea,
that microphone, I'm begging you.
in the idea that there is some sort of an afterlife, which makes dying that much less horrifying.
Yeah, sure. No, I'm with you, and I'm actually happy you get comfort from that because I know you're a thinker. I'm a deep thinker too, but I just stop the second I start feeling bad.
Well, nobody wants to believe that they're
Yeah.
actually going to fucking die.
Yeah, no, I know it's hard to say. Now, again,
People don't.
I'm ready. I'm fucking ready.
You know it. You know you're going to die.
Yeah,
But you don't really believe it.
I'm starting to understand that whole death by cop thing. By the way,
You going out that way?
I might. I fucking might.
Suicide by cop?
Yeah.
I don't think they'll shoot anyone anymore with all the fucking shit that's on video.
Oh, I'll figure out a way to get him to shoot me.
I mean,
Trust me.
you'd have to have like a gun hooked up to your cock, running at them naked, with fucking guns all over you before they'll shoot you.
dragging a couple babies.
Right. And, kicking some pregnant woman in the ass while running, making her running forward and, stabbing her and shit.
Or at least dangling the keys to the local Dunkin' Donuts down that you just lock the door down.
Right.
Kill
right.
everyone inside. Like, we can't have that.
So